So it is time. Hi, this is my This is my vlog for Books for the Brave, and Books for the Brave is a readathon hosted all of this week. Realizing you don't know when this week is, running from the 11th to 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, okay. Books for the Brave is a readathon running from the 11th to the 17th of May. Literally, Rona got me so confused. Running from the 11th to the 17th of May, and it is hosted by Victoria from What Victoria Read, Leanne from Literary Diversions, and Emma from Drinking by My Shelf. And it's a readathon that aims to raise awareness and raise some money for the NHS in this struggling time. Obviously, it's a very British readathon. Everyone's obviously welcome to take part, but it's very British because it's for the NHS. And basically, what the readathon is about is you read books that fit the prompts on your current TBR. Don't buy a new book for it. You read books you already own, and then you basically donate the cost of what would have been a new book to the cause. So that's what I've done. That's what everyone who's taken part in this readathon has done. And now it is actually time to actually read. So I chose some books to fit the prompts. The three prompts were: choose a book that intimidates you, choose a book with the letters N, H, or S in the title, and then choose a book with a brave main character. So for choose a book that intimidates you, I went for Don't Tell Mummy by Tony Maguire. It intimidates me because it's quite a hard-hitting book, and I don't really like reading hard-hitting books, says the person taking part in Mental Health-a-thon and reading this. But I don't really do hard-hitting books. I love emotional books, but not like this. It's also a non-fiction. I'm not a non-fiction person. I struggle to get into non-fiction. So it is quite intimidating for me because I've had it on my shelf for so long and always put it off because it wasn't my type of book. But I didn't want to unhaul it without reading it because it felt like a really important story to read. So I made sure to put it on this one. So I'm going to read this. And then for the next two prompts, I've put two together because I'm actually taking part in Believe-a-thon, Mental Health-a-thon, and Books for the Brave. So I've got too many. So I just Brave main character and letters N, H, or S I have just kind of combined into one book, and that is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare, and that's the second book in the Mortal Instruments series. I decided to include that one because I need to continue reading the Mortal Instruments series because I have been reading them, and also I think Clary's quite brave anyway, based on the one book of the Mortal Instruments I've read, and also City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare has all of the letters in there, so I thought it would work. So I'm reading this one first because it ties in with Mental Health-a-thon because it's also one of them prompts, and also it fits this one. And I think really I want to get this one out of the way because I don't know how much I'm going to struggle with it. So I want to get this out of the way, and then I can take a bit of a break, and then I'll start my next one. So I'm going to just be vlogging my Books for the Brave journey on this, so I'll talk about this book and City of Ashes no doubt in this book, and I'm also going to be taking part in as many challenges as I can going on throughout the week. I will let you know how I feel. Let's see if I actually enjoy this book. So, I am 40 pages into this. It is like 7 o'clock on Monday evening, and it's okay. To be honest, I want to say that I'm not enjoying it, but I don't think that's necessarily true. I'm not into it, but I'm only 40 pages in, so how into it am I really going to be? I think I'm just not in a reading mood, and I think I've been in that headspace for a couple of days. So I'm trying. I'm just taking it slow because I know if I push myself to get it done, I will just put myself into a slump, which is less than ideal. So I'm just taking it slow. I'm reading it a chapter at a time. If I feel I need to stop, then I'll stop. And that's what I'm doing right now. Just stopping, giving you a bit of an update, watching a video or two of YouTube because my watch later list is still in its 40s, which is not ideal. And then that's it really. After that, I'll take it from there. See whether I want to carry on, see whether I want to stop. But I am actually enjoying the book. I'm just not in the mood to read. So I'm hoping that passes because I want to get this done. It's interesting because although it's a non-fiction book, it's being told as she's an adult and she's battling her own demons and her demons are forcing her to relive the memories. So that's what we're seeing, the memories, which I've not read non-fiction. I don't know whether that's a staple, but it's actually quite interesting because it's not what I expected it to be. I expected it to literally just be literally like a diary or a story, like rather than a story. Like I just expected it to say this is what happened rather than her as an adult and then these memories are being forced back to her and she's talking about the inner battle in herself as an adult. It's very interesting. So I'll check in with you before I go to bed and I'll let you know how far I've got for today. Good morning. I am really struggling just like being awake right now. Really? Now is the time the bin men choose to come. Yeah, bugger on back with your beep beeps. Good luck. Good boys. So, I know I said I would update you before I went to bed, but in my defense, I didn't end up reading anymore. So, it would have been a very boring update. It would literally, I'm sorry, sorting my hair out. That is more important. Priorities. I mean, getting this thing chopped off is my priority, let's be real. But yeah, I didn't read anymore. I thought it'd be very boring to update you on something I haven't read. It'd literally be me popping in saying, hi, didn't read anything, bye. So I thought I'd update you this morning because I have actually read quite a bit. Currently, I am on page 88 of this book. Not really into it, to be perfectly honest. It started out, and it makes me feel awful to say, but it started out with me thinking, okay, I'm really bored. And I know I'm not really a non-fiction lover, so I felt as though I kind of understood why I was bored. But it's such a heavy topic. Like, it's about child abuse and sexual abuse and depression and trauma, and I was like, are you allowed to be bored when it's a topic like this? But I was struggling, mostly because it was just kind of telling me about her life before this happened, and I was like, okay, like there was parts of it I enjoyed reading it. That was the thing. It was boring, but it was easy to read, and they was talking about getting a puppy and having pet chickens, and I was like, you know, I understand that this is a good part of your life, but at the same time, like, let me just get through the book. I think because I'm not too interested in non-fiction books, I just kind of want to get in and get out. Like, I don't want to stick around for the backstory. And it makes me feel awful to say, but I'm now further in. Sadly, the content has begun and it's very hard to read, to be perfectly honest. It is a struggle and I'm still reading it. It's not too descriptive, so I'm glad of that because it's a struggle now. If it was even more descriptive, I wouldn't cope with it. But yeah, it's very, 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 very difficult to read. It is. And we're still very early in. Like I said, I'm only on page 88. There is 306 pages. So I've got, 200 and odd pages left. And that's really all I can say about it. It is surprisingly an easy read. Like, even though it's quite difficult to read because of the content, in terms of how it's written, I'm just glancing over. Like, really, I I don't even know what page, but I was like 20 pages in, maybe even less than that. I think about 10 pages in this morning. And I started reading at about 8:30, and it's now 11 o'clock. I mean, that probably doesn't sound really fast, but I am a really slow reader. And also, I've watched like 2 hours of BookTube throughout as well. Like, I've been catching up on some videos. So I am getting through this quite fast in general. So I don't know how I feel. I'm really confused up to now. I'm not loving it, not hating it. I don't want to really read more because the content is quite sad. But obviously I'm going to get to the end because it's part of the Books for the Brave and it's part of Mental Health-a-thon. And yeah, I'm just going to push through. I mean, it's heavy content and I don't really know what to say about it because I don't want to talk too much about the content. So I'll update you when I have something important to say on this. Hello, Books for the Bravers. I'm just doing this. I'm over halfway through. I'm quite happy with it. I'm taking a short break now, but then continuing a bit later on because I'm really looking forward to something else getting to the end of the book. It's very, very hard to read. It's quite heavy hitting, but it's one of those. It's a really important story, so it's so important to read this, and that is what is really pushing me through. I've got through so much of this book just because of how important it is that I read it. So I'm really looking forward to it. I really am. So I'm going to just have a break because I need one and then continue reading and then hopefully get more in. Wow, I look rough today. Oh well. So I actually surprised myself. I have just finished Don't Tell Mummy. Serious book. It was such a difficult read. I have no idea how to even process what went on. It was a 3-star book because quite honestly I didn't want to read this. I felt very uncomfortable. I think knowing it was a non-fiction made it worse because if it's a fiction you can kind of detach yourself from that, whereas it being a non-fiction book I couldn't. And it was very hard to read knowing it was real because there were parts of it I thought I don't want to read this. This is awful, and the fact that it was a true story made it worse. But I wanted to push on. I wanted to get to the end. I did. And honestly, if I was rating it based on how I felt reading it, I would give it a 1-star because I was on the verge of DNFing and decided that it was too important to not put down. But I feel as though this book has some very serious content and it is such an important story to discuss and get out there. So that is why I'm giving it a 3-star, because I feel as though it tackles some really important issues. And although I was made to feel uncomfortable and I was made to feel like it was such a struggle to get through, I do realise that was the intention. This woman was telling her personal, true story. And it was hard, and I pushed on, and I think the fact that this book took me there and really just made me deal with all of that, it warranted a 3-star. I will say there are some very, very serious content warnings in this. There is child abuse, there is sexual assault, there is the rape of a child, there is botched abortions, there's teenage pregnancy, there is physical and sexual abuse from a parent. There is so much content warning in this, so I would recommend to people that if you think you can handle it, 100% would recommend a read just because of the content. This isn't a book I want to recommend because I don't like it, But if you are ever interested in a story such as this, or you like non-fiction and you like reading things like memoirs of people, this is definitely one to give a go. I, for one, will never pick this up again. I am unhauling this book the second I can, because it just, I don't feel comfortable with it anymore. Which makes me feel as though it shouldn't get a 3-star rating, because I don't feel satisfied having read it. But this was so different to anything I've ever read that it is so hard to know where I stand on the matter. So 3-star rating just because the content was clearly so important, but I don't want to ever come into contact with this book again. And I would recommend to anyone that really is interested in stuff like this and can handle it, give it a go. But please, please, please be aware of these content warnings. If any of these can trigger something in you, do not. So that is the end of that book. Now, for the next one for Books of the Brave, I am going to be reading City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. However, Books for the Brave is happening the same week as Believe-a-thon, and I need to prioritise some of my Believe-a-thon books first. And then when it comes to weekend, I will be moving on to City of Ashes. So this is it from me until the next weekend. Well, until the weekend. So thank you for watching up to now. I will check in with you probably in a couple of seconds. Hello there. Now it is officially time for my second and final book for Books for the Brave, and that is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. Now this is part of the Mortal Instruments series. This is book 2, as seen there. If it works, I doubt that's going to work. Can I cover my face and then it opens? No. But this is book 2 of the Mortal Instruments series, and I read book 1 and vlogged my experience reading it first time. I'll also be doing that for this, to be honest, because I'm going to do it for the entire series. But I chose this book as a book with a brave main character, which is Clary Frey, who I'm assuming that is. Clary is a ginger girl. I assume this is Clara then. Because I think Clary is fairly brave. She had to deal with a lot in book 1, so I do like to believe she's brave. And then also, a book has to have the letters N, H, or S in the title or the author. And, what is there? H and S, and then Cassandra Clare. So the letters are all there for the NHS. And that is it. So I'm going to start reading this. I will let you know how I feel. Hello, dear friends from Books for the Brave. I realise I haven't actually been checking in with you as much for this book because I've been vlogging my first time experience of reading this separately. So I decided to just do a bit of a quick check-in. I've just hit a quarter of the way through the book. I'm on page 106, which is like chapter 6. Ideally, I wanted to get to chapter 12 because that's halfway through the book, but I don't think I'm going to have a chance to do that tonight. I have a quiz night in 3 hours, so that's fun. I'm really looking forward to that, but it will mean that I don't get to read a lot more. I have 3 hours to read, basically, and then I'll see. Hopefully I'll do a lot more reading tomorrow, but I'm really enjoying the story. I think it's really great. Clary is a really brave character, so there you go, points for that. And I'm loving how natural it feels. Like, I feel as though I'm back into the story. There's not a lot of action, but I don't necessarily mind because it feels as though it's been a direct continuation from book 1. I found out that it's only like a couple of weeks after the events of book 1, so it does feel like it's quite a continuation. You had the big dramatic ending of book 1, and now we're in a bit of a lull, which I am okay with. So just wanted to give you a quick check-in, see how I'm doing. I will let you know how I'm doing when it comes to my quiz night, hopefully, if I have time. And yeah, so great, I'll check in with you later. So this week's quiz night theme is superheroes. Can you guess who I am? Can't even see my eyes. I can see you lot though. I'm going as the Hulk for superhero. And it's now, so chat to you in a bit. Quick update for where I am. Yeah, I am on page 134. To get halfway, I need to be on 207. So, not happening, but I'll read a bit after the quiz as well. So, I'll get to the end of that chapter, so I don't know. Not doing too bad. Hopefully I can spend the full day doing it tomorrow. Right, I'm going in. So I didn't actually read a lot last night. I was just really tired after the quiz night, so I actually didn't read anything last night. I don't know why I said I didn't read a lot. Yeah, after the quiz night I didn't really read anything. It was just late, I was tired, so I decided to just not catch up on some YouTube videos, and I'm going to start again now. But yeah, I'm going to go home, chill out for a little bit, start reading some, and then I need to take the papers to my nan's to make sure she's okay. And yeah, so I'm just going to try and read as much as I can, because I do still need to get City of Ashes done very quickly. So I have decided that a movie doovie day is needed. I am going to stop reading City of Ashes for a while because I'm feeling really unwell and I just need the day off. So my Books for the Brave journey will actually end on Monday instead of Sunday. I know the official thing ends on Sunday, but I think I just need a day off and I can carry on tomorrow, and I think that's fair, and I don't think the hosts would mind as long as I get it done. So I've got to take care of myself, and I decided to have a nice relaxing day off. So I have the entire Harry Potter series, so I'm going to binge watch that now. Plot twist.
I'm what?
Hello, Books for the Brave. So, halfway through this book, really enjoying it. Quite action-packed, really. I don't feel as though it's as tense as the first time I read, not this book, I read the first book in the series, and it's less action-packed compared to that one, but it's still really, really good, and I'm kind of enjoying less action, more drama. I think it's a great book. Clary is really brave. She's, to be fair to her, she's been through quite a lot in this book. And the drama is real. The tension is real. I'm loving all of the characters. I think this book is really good at making you like all of the characters, because even if they're only in the story for a short time, they're very, very fleshed out, and it works out very well. So yeah, I am really, really enjoying it. I'm saying just over halfway. I don't think I'm going to finish the book in time for the end of Books for the Brave, because the live show is in 3 hours and I have about 200 pages left to go. So it doesn't really matter. I've said I've not been feeling too good today, so I want to just relax a bit. And I wanted not so much a day off reading, but I wanted to give my brain and eyes and head a bit of a rest, because I'm getting a very bad migraine from the amount of books I'm reading, I assume. So I took a bit of a break, and then I really wanted to come back to it, so I continued. And now I'm feeling a bit of another break, so I'm going to have another break, watch some TV, and then start again. So not going to get it done in time for the end of the official Books for the Brave, but I did post on Twitter with my intention to carry on after Books for the Brave is officially finished, and said really I'm fairly confident that the Books for the Brave hosts wouldn't mind me taking a break and finishing tomorrow instead. And actually Books for the Brave have commented saying, you know what, no, do what you need to do. Doesn't really matter when you finish it. It's the point of taking part that counts, and obviously raising money for this amazing charity. And I 100% agree. And I'm just going to plug it now. If you can donate to the NHS Charities Together, there will be a link down below. If the link is still active, I will actually check that out first and then let you know. But yeah, that's it from me. I will catch up with you in a little bit.
I just said in the comments as well, I listened to the audiobook the night before my surgery. Probably wasn't a good idea.
Oh god,
no. No.
Now, I've had my break. I've watched the live show. Back to reading this book. So, I'm about to head off to bed, but I just wanted to give you a bit of an update on where I was with City of Ashes. I
where am I at? I don't even know. I'm on about 275. So, I'm close to the end. I have about 130 pages left. That's literally all I can update you with, so... So it is the next morning, and even though I have not finished the book, I officially have finished Books for the Brave. I got up to page 274 of City of Ashes, and I finished Don't Tell Mummy by Tony Maguire, and that hit all 3 prompts, and I would consider that a success, even though I did not finish the entire book. So, thank you so much for watching this vlog. I really appreciate it. As I said, the link is down below if you still want to donate, and it is there and ready up until Sunday the 24th, I think it is, of May. So if you do want to donate, please do. That would be amazing. And that is it. So thank you so much for watching my vlog. I post every Monday, Wednesday and Saturday, and then intermittently throughout the week. So until next time, I will see you later. And just keep an eye out for my reading City of Ashes for the first time vlog. Bye.